let's use the Pythagorean theorem for this. A ramp up into a local restaurant is pictured. How high from the ground will you be after you walk up the entire ramp? So, yeah, if you use the Pythagorean theorem, you got to notice that this is a right triangle. If it's a right triangle, I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find this unknown side. So I'm going to write that down. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to label my sides so I plug it in correctly. So I'm going to say this is A, this is B. It doesn't matter. You could flip-flop those, but this always has to be what? C. So now plug it in, what you know. I don't know my A. I know my B is 120 squared. My C is 125 squared. So I know that A squared plus 14,400, that's 120 squared, equals 15,625. Yeah. When I subtract these, I get A squared equals 1,225. Take the square root of both sides, because I need A, I don't need A squared, I need A. A is equal to 35 inches. That's the square root of 1225. As I said, A is equal to 35 inches. Just seeing if you guys are awake. So don't turn the page yet, because I want you to notice something. Oh, well, this is like, geez, Pete. All right, 35 inches. So I have 35, 125, and 120. Oh, what can I say about this set of numbers? They are what? They're all integers, so what are they? Not equal. They're Pythagorean what? Triple. They're Pythagorean triple. There are no decimals. Okay? All right, turn the page now. Do this one on your own. You've already done enough of these, but this will be the last one for now. Yes, but it doesn't take very long. Okay? Do that one on your own. All right, let's see how we can use this now on a graph. Ready? Now we're going to find the distance between 2 points. We have this point and this point, and we need to find the distance between it. You ready for some magic? Look what happens when I do this. If I draw a straight line down and a straight line over from those 2 points, oh, what kind of triangle do I have? A right triangle. Look at that. Now, if I have a right triangle and I need to know this side, I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So, isn't that awesome? So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. How do I find this side? It's real easy. What can I do to find this side? Come on. Somebody said it, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This side is 5.
Oh, snap. Blowing my mind.
How far is this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so I have my A and B. I need to find my C.
It's just black, man.
So just plug it in. Isn't that something?
That's something.
I hear you.
Not a good thing.
Okay, 5 squared plus 5 squared is 50.
That's going to be a weird number.
It is going to be a decimal. Oh, which means it's not a what? Pythagorean triple. Okay, so when I take the square root of both sides, because I need C, I don't need C squared, C is approximately 7.07.
Oh,
Okay, so when you have a graph, you can easily use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for C. Sometimes you don't have a graph. Sometimes you're just given 2 points, and you get this distance formula, which happens to be derived, or it's taken from the Pythagorean theorem, and you just plug and chug. You pick the numbers, you put them in, and you practice. So here, you're gonna do this 2 different ways. We're gonna do the first one as a right triangle, okay, with a right angle there. And I'm going to count this side as 4, this side is 3. I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 4 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared, because this is my c. 16 plus 9 equals c squared. 25 equals c squared. C equals 5. Oh, would you look at that? It's a 3, 4, 5, which is a Pythagorean triple. 3, 4, 5. Okay. I know we could do this with the Pythagorean theorem, but there needs to be an example when you don't have a graph. So I'm just going to write these 2 points here. I have 1, 4, and I have 3, negative 2. Let's say we didn't have the graph, and we needed to find the distance between those 2 points. I'm going to use the distance formula. I'm going to write it down right here. Okay? Now, all you do to start this is you write x1, y1. That's my first point. X and y from my first point. x2, y2. X and y from my second point. And then I plug in what I know. Now you got to be careful with the signs. Signs are tricky. Okay? So don't lose the square root sign. This is a common mistake. Kids will lose that square root sign. It's the last thing you're going to do in the distance formula is take the square root. Yes, Luke.
You have to remember that whole thing.
It's on the board. I'm leaving it on the board.
Not like the quiz.
I'm leaving it on the board. Yeah. Okay? x1 is 1. x2 is 3. Plug those 2 numbers in. Plus y1 is 4 minus y2, which is negative 2. Be careful. Minus a negative 2. So let's make this pretty. Okay, this is going to be negative 2 squared plus, what happens here? Yes, it becomes a plus. So this is going to actually be 6 squared. If you pull out a calculator and you put in negative 2 squared, what's the calculator going to say? Watch. Negative 2 squared. What's it going to say? Can you read it? Is that right?
No.
Thank you for saying no. It's not right. What is negative 2 times negative 2? 4. When you're squaring a negative number on a calculator, you have to put it in parentheses because the calculator follows order of operations. It's very smart. Order of operations to it is to square first and make it negative. It's wrong because we didn't put it in parentheses. We have to put it in parentheses. Be careful with that. Okay? No, it's not. Not if you don't enter things correctly. It's not right. All right? Square root of 40, which is, I don't have it. Let's do it. Square root of 40. 6.32. Is this a Pythagorean triple? No. So this distance here is 6.32. All right, so let me show you what you got to do for your homework. And you got plenty of time to get this done. Plenty. No, it's a worksheet. Don't get up yet. Okay, this is it. I'm going to make it so easy on you, it's not even funny. So for these, you have to find the distance. You can use the Pythagorean theorem, or you could just use the distance formula. It's up to you. Down here, you have to use the distance formula. Here's the deal. You can choose odds or evens. So that's like 6 problems. Whoop-de-doo, okay? Odds or evens. Now on the back of this, look. Quiz concepts, what you need to know. This is where I'm telling you what you need to know for tomorrow. Classify triangles by their angles and sides. What's classify mean? What's classify mean?